I'd just like to take a quick moment to focus on something that is absolutely and unquestionably beautiful about the French postal system. And as we can see here, this is a parcel that I've just received from France, and you can see and I'm going to quote verbatim, the absolute wall of stamps that have been affixed to the item to pay for the postage, and it's absolutely beautiful. I mean, I'm not a philatelist, or I haven't been a philatelist at any point in my life. I haven't been a stamp collector, but this is something that really would encourage me to start collecting. I mean, you look at this. Now, the parcel itself, I think I paid 16 or 17 euro for postage. I did also have to pay additional import VAT when it came into the UK, which is entirely reasonable. I don't have a problem with with paying import VAT, because if VAT is due, VAT is due. What I take issue with is that the carrier the company that then delivered this from customs to my address, then added a charge equal to the VAT collected, because they basically pay the VAT for you, slap their own charges on. When they could just have sent me an email to say, there's an item for you at customs, there is VAT payable, here's a link, pay HMRC directly and then send us the receipt so we know it's been released. Anyhow, right, well, I'm going to just pay some close attention to the stamps so that those who are interested can see what stamps have been used. It will be seen that they are all stamps that predate the issue of the euro. And one of the things, as you can see there, Hommage à General de Gaulle, homage to General Charles de Gaulle, who is an extraordinarily strong pillar of French culture and community now. I mean, they obviously named Paris's main airport after him, Aéroport Charles de Gaulle. There is also Charles de Gaulle Atoll, or the Star of Charles de Gaulle. If you've ever been around the Arc de Triomphe in Paris, you'll know about it, because that is the name of the square where the Arc de Triomphe is located. For me personally, it's one of the nicest places in the world to go cycling, because once you get round the fact that in France, despite the fact that roundabouts circulate counterclockwise, you still give way to the right, which means that contrast to British roundabout priority, where priority is to traffic that's circulating the roundabout. In France, certainly for Atoll and other roundabouts so marked, the priority to circulation is to traffic that's joining the roundabout. Now, this seems absolutely backside from the British perspective, until you consider that you have Charles de Gaulle Atoll to the west, and then you have Place de la Concorde to the east. They're both linked by the Avenue Champs-Élysées, and if you use the British approach to priority on both roundabouts, that is to say that you gave way to the left and you yielded to traffic as it come that's already on the roundabout, most of the day, the moment you would get onto as soon as you get onto the Avenue Champs-Élysées, you may as well stop your engine, park your car, and do the rest of your journey on foot. I'm just trying to get my camera to refocus. Yeah, don't you just hate it when you just want to focus on something, not even in macro mode, you just want to focus on something and your camera absolutely refuses to do it. I'm just going to pan over the stamps again, just so if anyone missed them the first time round, they get a good chance to see them again. As I stated earlier, all of these stamps are priced in francs. You can see, for example, this one here. You have 12 francs postage plus 3 francs tax. So meaning that the tax, at least for postage, was 25% at the time that was that stamp was produced. Here we have another one. Here we have another one where the postage is 30 centimes plus 10 centimes tax. Then we have 30 centimes all inclusive. But one of the most beautiful things about the French postal system is that, unlike in the UK, where our old stamps that no longer have barcodes have been made void and are no longer valid for postage, France holds France or French law holds that stamps are valid in perpetuity until they are used. So the thing is that there are people all over France who have stamps that have been sat in drawers for decades and decades and decades. And this isn't just a French thing, because I myself have two one franc stamps in the house here that have never been used, which were left over from when I was sending a load of postcards from a school trip to France when I was a child. And to this day, those two 1 franc stamps are still valid for postage as long as the item is dispatched into the postal system via France Post. I don't know what the conversion factor is, but certainly anyone who has a large collection of unused French stamps, who is going to France and needs to send things from France, like letters or postcards or parcels, can take all of those old stamps that they have, and they can legitimately apply them to their mail pieces, and they will be totalled up by the postmaster and a label to the current value in euro produced. Although I will add that, as you can see, there's another maybe 8 francs worth of stamps on another side of the parcel that I can't show because it has my address and customs label on it. But the total stamps here amount to about €16 in modern day postage. That was for sending a parcel about 4 kilos in weight from Marseille to the southeast of the UK. But as I said, I'm just going to turn on the light just to give a different view. But again, as I stated, one of the most wonderful things about the French postal system is because the stamps are valid in perpetuity, and they can still be used for postage to this day, and they are still valid until they are used. If you order goods from France, certainly from anyone who has who is clearing out an attic or a desk drawer or a chest full of old possessions from before the time the euro came in, you might find yourself receiving not just the item you've bought, which in this case was an item of French telecommunications history that is absolutely wonderful, and I am so pleased to have one in my possession, especially as it's something that would be very, very... Oh, look at that. UNESCO 30 centimes. So that was... Then we have... What's this one? Championnat du monde de ski Chamonix 1962. I don't know if it's actually that old, but it certainly commemorates the World Skiing Championships in Chamonix. Then we have République Français Infirmerie 1966. Back then they were charging tax. That's the one on the right hand side that you can see there, with the nurse administering medicine or a vaccination to a child. But yeah, this is absolutely beautiful. There are stamps here that don't just predate the item that was inside this parcel, which the nature of which will be revealed in good time, but also that there are stamps here that are older than myself. There may even be, I haven't checked fully, but there may even be a stamp that's older than my parents. And that's very cool, to quote one of my favourite short authors.